Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the channel. I am aTone. This is aTone Tarot. Gemini, you are tuned in for the topic of new levels equals new devils. We will be breaking down your message in increments of 4. I'll be dipping into each quarter of 2025 using a different tarot deck. I have a traditional tarot here, a character oracle tarot, the Kipper, as well as an inner wisdom deck. As you can see, my view looks a little different. I had some technical difficulties. I had to switch back and, get creative on how I deliver this message, because the grind stops when the time stops, Gemini. But let's get up into your message. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for my Gemini collective. Let's see what new set of challenges going into 2026 will my Gemini collective have to face. Because when I say new levels, new devils, Gemini, that's what I'm talking about. So as we enter into new phases of our lives, we have new sets of challenges that we need to be aware of. And that is why you are here today, Gemini. So if you could, please smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Your girl will greatly appreciate it, Gemini. But let's see what new set of challenges my Gemini collective will have to face going into 2026, that first quarter from January to March. All right, Gemini, let's see. I had to switch it up. Three more cards, please, for my Geminis. I hope all is well with you guys. If you could, please smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. And all right, Gemini, let's get up into it. So from January to March, that first quarter of the year in 2026, you received the Emperor in reverse, the Three of Pentacles, Temperance, the Five of Wands, and the Four of Cups in reverse. All right, so it's looking like you might have to deal with a tyrant or a bully, possibly at work, Gemini. Somebody may be picking on you at work, and it's causing you to have to really pull out your most professional clapback, if you will. Like you really might need to learn how to put someone in their place, but with a nice professional tone, with Temperance being here, Gemini, right? Because you are deciding enough is enough with this Four of Cups being in reverse. It's like, I knock all this shit over. If y'all don't keep playing with me, you better stop playing with me. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. Somebody at work is picking on a Gemini, and they're about to find out that Gemini might not be this nice, cute, quiet individual. You might see Gemini's claws come out because of a bully, with the Emperor being here in reverse. It's someone who believes they have some authority by way of maybe title, and they are forgetting about basic human respect. And a Gemini is called to remind them, you know, I don't care about this title. I don't care what your title is. You will respect me as a person. And you may need to actually articulate that and say it aloud to someone. And it causes that person to be like, who are you talking to? You. Because you're being disrespectful to me. And until you learn how to conduct yourself with a certain amount of decency, decorum, we will not have a conversation at all, because I deserve respect and you're going to give it to me. That's what I'm picking up on for what's going to happen or occur in the first quarter of 2026 for my Gemini at work. They are going to have to come up against someone who believes because they have a certain title that they can maybe talk to you or behave in a flippant way, a dismissive way towards you, Gemini. And you have to call it out. You have to say, you know, you're going to treat me with a certain amount of decency and respect. It could even be that you need to get HR involved. You know, the powers that be, union, some assistance to back you on how you're being treated, because you're being unfairly treated and bullied with this Emperor in reverse. And the Three of Coins, that's a work-related situation where we're supposed to be working together as a team. You're working against me. Yeah, that's what this is giving. So just be aware that you may need to arm yourself, Gemini, with a certain amount of receipts, evidence. Keep track of these offenses and these instances. Pay attention to patterns, to energy, tone, all of that. I got a lot of Aries energy here, whoever this is. Or if it's not Aries, it's an emotional water sign. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Very emotional and emotionally immature person. Someone who acts like a brat when they don't get their way, even as a grown adult. They like to make a lot of noise when they don't get their way. They really huff and puff and want to blow the house down. And Gemini says, yeah, you can do all of that, and when you're done, I'll be right here, ready to have a civilized conversation. And until then, holla at me. All right, let's get into the second quarter of 2026 as it relates to new levels, new devils for my Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right, Gemini, let's see. I hope all is well with you guys. To my new viewers, welcome to the channel. To my returning viewers, welcome back. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate all that tune in, comment, and like all of my videos thus far. From me to you. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What new sets of challenges will my Geminis need to be aware of? Two more cards, please. Two more cards, please, Spirit. All right. All right. So, Gemini, you receive clergy, architect, courier, security guard, and soldier. So, this really feels like a network that is highly protected, guarded in such a way, like the church, the army, the government, you know, the police department, those that have a bond and they protect each other and might turn the other way when one of their own are doing something that may not be favorable, you know. Amen. Don't shoot the messenger. And if this is not your message, if it don't apply, let it fly. You know, don't force it. But this is you possibly being bullied or feeling like you're up against a organization or network that has a band of lawyers, advocates, and will secure ranks as it relates to isolating and protecting one of their own, to where it's like a David and Goliath type of situation, Gemini, is what this is giving with this spread. Because architect and courier is like someone controlling the narrative, someone having or an organization having enough money to control the narrative around what's happening in relation to whatever you're up against, big or small. It could be as small as in a community. You know, you start spreading rumors that, oh, you know, this person did so-and-so wrong and this is what happened, and down the lane it goes, and the whole community is now against this one person, but they've only heard one side of the story. So because with soldier here and security guard, that's a community or someone willing to protect secrets of a bigger organization for the sake of that organization not being embarrassed publicly by way of whatever is going on with you that they're doing that may not be so favorable. So, you know, you may need to reach out to networks and build your own network, Gemini, of allies and resources and alliances to help carry you through this challenge or obstacle with this organization and or group of people. Yeah. I just got a like piercing feeling in my hand, like somebody stuck a pin in my hand just now, and then it just went away. Like someone stuck a pin in my hand, so like they didn't want me to say that. Like, be quiet, be quiet. Yeah, secrecy, quiet, silencing, someone taking someone's voice and saying, no, 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 that person wasn't done wrong. We are in the right, and they are crazy. That's the narrative that they will spin as it relates to whatever complaint you might be waging against this individual that is tied to an organization, and they're being protected by this organization. So again, very unique and specific message there. So that's the second quarter of 2026. Let's see what's going on with the third quarter for my Gemini collective. In that third quarter, my apologies, Gemini, if I didn't break it down. The first quarter is from January to March. The second quarter is from April to the end of June. And the third quarter kicks off in July and concludes at the end of September 2026. So we are currently on the third quarter, looking at from July to the end of September for my Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus as it relates to new levels, new devils for my Gemini collective. What may be going on as it relates to challenges for my Geminis from July to the end of September that you guys may be faced with. 5 cards, please, Spirit. More cards, please, for my Geminis. All right, Gemini, you receive pathway, message, occupation, bad health, and thief. So for the third quarter of 2026, my Geminis may go on a bit of a journey as it relates to your career and how you get your money, right? And it may be some bumps in the road. Someone may try to steal your love for a certain career path, or you know, that you once had. Like, you might have been in love with what you did, and now it's changing. It's withering away like a plant. So with bad health being here, I don't see you or anyone around you in bad health. I see that your career and the love for your career is withering away. And whatever this situation it is, someone is robbing you of the joy of what you once did in this profession, Gemini, right? And it's like a slow burn and a slow unraveling of your career life and your joy and the passion and fire that you might have had for it at one point, you know? So that's pretty upsetting. I understand how that can be, but we in this life, I will say this, take it from an OG, you will reinvent yourself several times over in this life, right? Do you know how many people I've become, how many paths I've actually walked, you know what I mean? And it's helped shape who I am ultimately. And every little experience and journey that I've been on, it's helped lead me to where I am right now. And it's a tool kit that I ultimately possess, that I pull out certain skill sets from different walks of life and experiences that I've had to bring it full circle to right now, right? So I'm saying this to you where you may feel as though you're being robbed of a certain love for what you used to do, and it may cause you to have to recalibrate your career life in such a way that you didn't anticipate, right? Let's just say you are currently a nurse and you're losing the love for it because you're being bullied at work and something's going on, and even when you go through all the proper channels to get the assistance and support, it's not happening, right? And throughout this long drawn out experience of trying to be vindicated in such a way, you've lost your love for that profession of nursing, right? And this is just an example. And this makes you now say, well, if I'm not going to be a nurse, then what? What do I do? Because this has been a big part of who you are and what you strive for in life. This was the thing. And now this thing is unraveling. And you have to maybe find another thing, Gemini. And it's breaking your heart a little bit. And it's throwing you off. But it's okay, because again, like I said, everything that we're going through right now helps shape and bring us to that next phase for that next part of our life. I recently coined a phrase, a lesson on the shelf. I've received a lesson that was put on the shelf. So I went through something and I just could not understand for the life of me, why did I go through this thing? It was crazy, it was quick, it was big, but it was significant, but it had no rhyme or reason to it, right? At the time, and it was messing with me. I just was like, there has to be a reason that I went through this, because something happened very quickly, very heavily, major impact, and I was to not forget it. I would never forget it, right? I know exactly what this thing is, and I'll leave it at that, right? But there was no rhyme or reason to it. Almost a year later to the day, I went through the same thing, but I was on then the opposite side of it. And I could respond to that thing appropriately in that moment. Whereas if I hadn't went through what I went through the year before, I would not have responded appropriately in that situation. So I realized that's what I like to call a lesson that is put on the shelf. It's put on the shelf for later. So whatever you're going through right now, you may not know the rhyme or reason for why, like, why me? Why am I having to endure all of this when I did all of the I took all the appropriate steps, right? I did everything right. So why am I being picked on? Why am I being bullied? I don't deserve this. That's the energy that I'm picking up on for my Geminis. You do not, and you may not deserve it, but you may not understand what the reason is for you having to go through this struggle right now. It may be for something that is coming greater in your life, to give you the experience to know exactly what to do in a moment where time is of the essence and you're not going to be able to sit and ponder and wonder. You'll be able to jump right into action and or advise someone else. So just take that into consideration while currently in the situation right now, Gemini. And be present. Be aware that you are doing the best that you can and you are doing the right thing. And as long as that's the case, keep your head up, moving forward, and not worried about what anybody else has to say about you. And I know that's easier said than done, but that is my advice to you, Gemini, because that's all we can do. We can only be responsible for ourselves at the end of the day. So let's see what is going on with the last quarter of 2026. And if you haven't done so already, please smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Your girl would greatly appreciate it. All right, Gemini, let's see. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what the last 3 months of 2026 has for my Gemini collective. All right, 5 cards, please, Spirit. 5 cards. And this would be from October to December 2026. What challenges will my Geminis face? Two more cards, please, Spirit. One more card. All right, Gemini. So for the last 3 months of the year 2026, you have no direction, unique, speak your truth, and solitude. So no being here is like, no, you will not do this to me. I will not allow it. You're going to receive the appropriate direction at the appropriate time, Gemini, on how you should proceed. This is a very unique situation where you need to speak your truth. You know what I mean? You are one of one, and heavy is the head that wears the crown. So you might feel a little lonely, like you don't have anyone to help or hold your hand through this. It's not a time for that. It's not a time for that, Gemini. It's a time for you to stand on your own and go through this by yourself. This is a lesson and a situation that you must face by yourself. Yeah, it's something you got to carry. Something you got to go through, lift with your knees, get up underneath it, and use that voice of yours. Do not allow someone to silence you. Do not allow someone to bully you. Do not allow someone to take you out of character either, Gemini. You know what I mean? Because temperance was in your first spread in that first 3 months. Maintain that balance, Gemini. Maintain that peace inside of you. Get into character is what I'm hearing. Get into character if you must. Meaning, if you're usually the type of person that is quick to back somebody down and have something to say and bark and yelling, you're not going to have to do that. Unique has the twins on it, looks like. To me, it looks like those are the Gemini twins. This is your message, unique to you, Gemini. Like I said, you will receive the ouch. Ooh, my funny bone. You will receive the appropriate direction at the appropriate time regarding the situation, because this is not going to be allowed. Spirit said no. Spirit said no. No, not today. Not for my Geminis. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. Don't let anyone silence you. And you may have to walk this path solo dolo, but it's okay. You were meant to. You were meant to. You were meant to get your stripes, and you're going to get your reward for this. And no one else around you is going to be able to help shoulder this with you. But they're also not going to reap the rewards of what comes around that on the other side of this. Because when you go through things like this, the Almighty is usually testing you, if you will. And if this is not your message, if it don't apply, let it fly. I think I said that already. But you may be being tested in such a way to where once you go through this, you're blessed and assessed based off of, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. You're assessed and then blessed off of that assessment, Gemini, of how you conducted yourself. So be mindful of that and just meditate, pray, and think about yourself first and foremost. That is not a bad thing to do, right? Who you are as an individual, what you stand for, and then work your way out, right? Because even when you think about yourself, you think about yourself in relation to other people. Immediately, like, who am I as an individual? How do I want to show up in my children's eyes, in my significant other's eyes, in my co-workers' eyes, and people that I don't even know that's watching me eyes? You need to be aware of all of that, Gemini. And you do that by always conducting a certain amount of self-audit and inventory of self. And you can get a lot of that done by way of creating some space for yourself to think, to meditate, to pray, to breathe, and just be all right. Yeah. So that is your message. I hope that it helps. And until next time, peace.